What is the one move Trump is preparing that experts say could permanently rewrite the 2026 landscape? And why is this Republican desperately warning the country before it's too late? Today, we're diving into what one senior GOP insider is calling a five-alarm political fire, a rapidly escalating behind-the-scenes plan that threatens to shake the foundation of the upcoming 2026 elections. And here's the twist. It's a Republican sounding the alarm about Donald Trump. If that sounds unusual, it's because itis. And the details of this alleged scheme are more explosive than anyone expected. Let's begin with the moment everything shifted. A top Republican, someone who has worked inside major campaigns, someone who understands Trump world's internal machinery, stepped forward with a chilling message. If this goes forward, the party won't recognize itself by 2026, and the country won't either. Now imagine hearing that from someone who supported Trump, donated to Trump, campaigned for Trump, and is now publicly begging the nation to pay attention. That's where our story begins. Before we dive deeper, let me ask you this. Have you ever watched a political story so bizarre that you paused the video to check if you accidentally opened a satire channel? Well, this is one of those stories, except it's not satire. No Onion articles here, just very real stakes. According to this Republican insider, Trump is orchestrating a multi-layered power expansion strategy that would allow him to handpick 2026 candidates in deep red and swing states, centralize party fundraising under his exclusive control, install loyalty-based political gatekeepers across state legislatures, and most alarming of all, override traditional primary structures by manipulating newly proposed state-level reforms. That last point, that's the one move experts warn could rewrite the 2026 landscape. But what exactly is it? We'll get to that, but not yet, because to understand the scheme, you first have to understand the desperation behind it. Now, this is where the tension spikes. The Republican whistleblower says Trump's inner circle has become laser-focused on 2026, not because of legislative priorities, but because 2026 will determine who controls the machinery of the next decade. That means election boards, state courts, redistricting committees, governor's mansions, Senate seats, certification authorities, and even voter roll auditors. Essentially, the architecture that decides whether elections are fair or whether they can be influenced. But here's the kicker. Instead of working within the system, Trump's team is allegedly preparing to reshape that system. Now, if you're thinking, wait, didn't we just do this whole changing the rules drama a few years ago? Yes, we did. And apparently it tested so well with Trump's base that it's back for a sequel. You know how Hollywood keeps rebooting franchises? It seems politics does too. Let's zoom in on the most troubling piece. Several states, particularly in the South and Midwest, are considering election authority restructuring bills. These bills would allow state legislatures, many GOP-controlled, to override decisions by local election officials, replace county-level administrators, and even invalidate primary procedures if irregularities are claimed. Here's where Trump steps in. According to the whistleblower, Trump's team is quietly lobbying state lawmakers to 1. Pass these restructuring bills, 2. Ensure the appointees are loyal to Trump personally, 3. Give the national GOP chair, which could be a Trump pick, new powers over state primaries. If that sounds unprecedented, it is. Never in modern American history has a former president attempted to vertically integrate election control from the local level all the way up to the national party. This is why the Republican insider called it a five-alarm fire. But here's the part the insider said made them lose sleep. There's one specific maneuver Trump is planning that no one is talking about. It's the real danger. The rest is smoke. This is the fire, so what is that maneuver? Okay, this is the moment we answer the opening question. Trump is pushing for a strategy called primary consolidation power. Sounds boring, right? Like something you'd scroll past on page 47 of a government PDF. But don't let the bland name fool you. This is where things get serious. Primary consolidation power would allow Trump-aligned RNC leadership to merge or eliminate primaries in states where Trump-approved candidates are running, allow state legislatures to appoint nominees directly if primary instability is declared, and the most dangerous part, create a rule giving the RNC the authority to disqualify candidates deemed disruptive to party unity. Who gets to define disruptive? You already know the answer. This could mean moderates, traditional conservatives, independents running as Republicans, all could be removed from the ballot before voters even see their names. That's not influence, that's control. If this is implemented, experts warn that Senate races in states like Arizona, Wisconsin, Georgia, and Ohio could be pre-decided internally. Governors' races in red states could be locked down by Trump loyalists. State legislatures could become ideological echo chambers, and the entire country could face Ari-shaped political map that lasts a generation. That's what they mean by rewriting the 2026 landscape. Not changing the outcomes of elections, but changing who is even allowed to run. At this point, even the founding fathers are probably looking down like, guys, this wasn't exactly what we had in mind when we wrote that whole checks and balances thing. Meanwhile, the rest of us are just trying to figure out why politics suddenly feels like an episode of House of Cards written by someone who thinks subtlety is a weakness. The whistleblower says they came forward because this isn't about Trump winning or losing. It's about whether Americans will even get to choose. That's the fear driving this urgent warning. And here's where the whistleblower drops the final chilling line. If we sleepwalk into 2026, it won't matter who people support. The decisions will already have been made. So here we are. A top Republican is sounding a five-alarm fire. Trump is allegedly preparing a maneuver that could reshape who runs, who wins, and who decides. And the country is at a crossroads where silence becomes complicity. The real question now is, will people listen, or will this warning be ignored until it's too late? Because according to the insider, the match has already been struck, and the fire is spreading.